Hello, everybody! I am back! Oh my god, it feels good to be back here. It's been over a month that I've been here, and I will tell you guys all about it. There's a lot of changes in my life. As you can see, I'm in a new place, so I moved during this time. There's other changes that happened, and I will tell all about it in the spirit of vulnerability and authenticity. I will tell you. All I have to say is that it was related to the eclipse. So if you watched my last video and I told you guys that we're going to have this detachment, this letting go of things that no longer were aligned to our purpose, that's what was about. So I'll tell you guys about that. And also I will tell you 5 things that you need to know about this upcoming full moon in Sagittarius on June 14th of 2020. And as usual, I'll also give you some tips, some advices on how you can best work with this energy, do some rituals for yourself or maybe with friends, so that you can really use this energy to help you heal, help you grow, and help you fulfill your purpose. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned and let's go. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, if you haven't, my name is Anna, and in this channel I talk about the moon, the stars, the sun, and all how these aspects in the sky really can help us to heal and become more aware and use these energies, right? In the spirit of growth and self-discovery. And today we're going to talk about the full moon in Sagittarius that's coming up on June 14th. But also I want to address the elephant in the room and tell you why I have been gone for the last 30 days. If you guys have been watching me before, you knew that I was here every full moon and every new moon. And I, unfortunately, I'm sorry, missed the new moon in Gemini. So one of the things that happened was I moved. So as you can see, moving can be hard. And, it takes a lot of our time to get settled and, go back to that routine. And it was really hard for me to do the video because of that. But I also want to address the other reason, I think maybe the main reason of why I have been gone. And as you guys know, I told you that I was going to Joshua Tree with my soul sisters, with my sisterhood of healing, and we were going to do a ritual for the moon, for the eclipse, and heal together, let go of things together. We did a yoni puja ceremony. For those that don't know, yoni is, I think, the Sanskrit term for vagina, and we did the ceremony we drew a whole yoni on the ground made of rice and flowers. It was very beautiful. You'll see in the video. And we just offered to Mother Moon and we asked the moon what we need to let go of, right? Actually, if you want to see a little bit how was my trip, you should watch this video here. It's from my friend Cissy. She's very talented. She's a great documentarian. She really captured the whole trip. There's other videos about our trip there as well. And so it's worth it. Watch it. She's really fun in what she does, and I'm very grateful that she did that for us because I wasn't really thinking about recording us there, so check it out. But going back, I'm someone who has been doing a lot of new moon ceremonies and full moon ceremonies for a while now. So at this point in my life, I didn't know what else I had to let go of to fulfill my purpose. For those that watched my first video, you may know that I have been on a journey of self-discovery, trying to look at other passions of my life, and ever since I quit my job. So I am part of the Great Resignation effort that's been happening, movement that's been happening since COVID started. And I've been just exploring and trying to understand what's my next step and just following the universe, following the signs. And I really wanted to know with this eclipse, right? Me being a rising in Scorpio, so I knew that it would be intense for me. I wanted to know what I should let go. So when we were in ceremony, I looked at the moon looked at me, and I asked, please, just tell me what I have to let go. Tell me what is keeping me blocked and show me the next step, right? And I didn't get any insights. It was nice. It was nice to be with my friends. I got some insights on other areas and we all learned together, right? But I really wasn't sure what I had to let go. So fast forward 3 days later, something very dear to my heart was removed from my life. And it was something I was very attached to. It was something that I was very grateful for, and that gave me a lot of joy. And I thought it was aligned with my purpose. And it just overnight almost got removed from me. And the shock and the pain, the struggle, it was all real. Even though I knew it could be related to the eclipse, I didn't want to really believe that that was happening. And the denial made the pain a little stronger. And I let go of my projects. I was just focusing 100% on healing and understanding what was the lesson. So astrology really helped me with that, because once I understood why that was happening, and that was for my purpose, and it wasn't happening to me but for me, and it was actually a blessing. And I started to ask the pain what it was teaching me. What is this pain really trying to show me about myself? Do I have any patterns that I wasn't willing to let go of and change and transform? Was I holding on so dearly to that thing that got removed because I didn't want to focus on my other things, right? So after really doing a lot of thought, meeting new people, having different conversations, putting myself in a different routine, and really trying to heal and understand myself, and I healed. I mean, I'm still healing, I'm still understanding fully, but I just wanted to share with you guys that, it happens, and this energy for the eclipse has been since a month ago, but it's gonna last 6 months. So if something has not happened to your life yet, it might still happen. And if it does, and if it's painful, just try to have that perspective of, what is the pain trying to show me? Why did this happen to me? What are the good things that can come out of this, right? It's important to have that optimistic bird's eye view, which is really related to this new moon, this new full moon that it's coming up, because it's in Sagittarius, and my moon is actually in Sagittarius. So it's an energy that I really resonate with, this energy of exploring, of learning, of getting new perspectives, right? And I can't wait to tell you guys about it. So I think we got the elephant cleared, and you all know why I was missing. I will come back in full force. I will be here for the new moon that's coming up in Cancer. But right now, today, let's get into it, and let's talk about the 5 things that you need to know about this full moon in Sagittarius. Alright guys, so the first thing you need to know about this full moon in Sagittarius is that it's happening on June 14th, 2022. I believe the exact time is around noon Pacific Standard Time, but I really don't have that information. I don't think you guys care that much, because this energy is gonna last 48 hours, so 24 hours before and 24 hours after, so I guess that makes it 72 hours. My math is not very good today, but you just need to know that this energy is going to be influencing you from the 13th today and until the 15th, so Wednesday, right? What is this energy, Anna? Well, let's talk about it. So full moon, as you guys may know, happens when the moon and the sun are in opposite sides of Earth. So that way the sun illuminates the moon completely, and it's it's always in opposite signs. So if we have the moon at 20 to 23 degrees of Sagittarius, that means the sun is at 23 degrees of Gemini. We are in Gemini season right now, and this full moon is the culmination point of this cycle, of the Gemini season, Gemini cycle. And what does it mean, right? What is this Gemini and Sagittarius balance? Because as I've explained to you guys before, the full moons happen to create this tension between opposite signs, because the light of one is the shadow of the other, to help us get more balance, more perspective into not being on one extreme of the situation and on the other extreme of the situation. So we have the Gemini energy right now going on. And Gemini is a sign of communication. It's a sign of our interactions with others, of being flexible and seeing everybody's different viewpoints, right? As Sagittarius can be a little bit more focused on goals. It's more deep. It wants to go long distance traveling, as Gemini rules the short distance traveling, the weekends, the close by things. And also in regards to communication and learning and knowledge, Gemini is a much more superficial kind of knowledge, the more the day-to-day, what you need to know to talk to your friends and your family and people around you. As Sagittarius goes more deep, it tries to really, it's like long distance, not long distance, but like high learning, right? Like a university, getting a mastery on something, really diving deep in a topic and having that goal, the goal that drives the force. So when you think of Sagittarius, we have the arrow as the symbol, and it's represented by also a Centaurus, which is half man, half horse, pointing somewhere, right? So the Sagittarius energy is all about finding the truth and speaking the truth. It's about the vision quest. In shamanic astrology, we talk about our Sagittarius archetype as the one that leaves the tribe to find the knowledge and then come back to the tribe and share that knowledge. So it's the teacher, it's the wise one. And it can be, of course, Sagittarius has also shadows, and it can become a very fanatic energy, like when you don't see the points of others and you only see your own points and your own stories and your own belief system, right? It can be very hard to convince a Sagittarius of something that they truly believe, that something they truly believe in is actually not true. But right now we need that energy because we've been in this Gemini cycle. We had Mercury retrograde until June 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. And Mercury retrograde made us rethink a lot of our own mindsets, a lot of our own communication, a lot of our interactions with others, and helped us also see different perspectives, different idea points, and be flexible to understand all that we could be doing, right? So it's a very divergent energy that, I could be doing this, I could be doing that. Gemini is often talked about as the jack of all trades. As Sagittarius is more on this brings also this positive, this optimistic attitude, very determined and focused on the goal, right? And right now we're in a phase that we have explored so many thoughts and ideas that we could have lost track of what truly mattered to us. So this Sagittarius energy, full moon, is going to shine light and give us clarity on what are the mindsets and the thoughts and the behaviors and the goals and the dreams that we had, but are actually not aligned with our bigger picture goal. So Sagittarius is going to talk about perspective, as Gemini talks about our perception. So it's allowing us to have a bird's eye view, like look at the bigger picture and really try to see in a more spiritual way or in a more goal alignment way what we really want and what really matters to us and what doesn't. And then whatever doesn't, we're supposed to leave it out and detach, because this is a full moon, and on full moons, as you guys already know, we let go of things, we let go of beliefs, we get completeness and completude about what we've been trying to manifest, right? Try to bring it to our life. And a lot of things become clear because we have the conscious mind, the sun, illuminating the subconscious mind, the moon. So the sun is actually going to help us, by illuminating the moon, help us have a bigger bird's eye view and a different perspective on some of the perceptions that we've had in the last month or so. So the second thing you need to know about the Sagittarius full moon of June 14th, 2020, is that it's squaring, the moon and the sun are both squaring Neptune. So what is a square? A square is a challenging aspect. That means they do 90 degrees with each other. And Neptune is in Pisces, and then we have the sun in Gemini and the moon in Sagittarius. So they're making a perfect square. And when that happens, we are challenged or provoked by that aspect, right? And in Neptune, what it could mean is that we will gonna go through disillusionment, or we're gonna trust our intuition too much and try to act based on first impressions. And we should not be doing that. Now that we are aware that we're going to be tempted to do that and tempted to have this be focused too much on illusions, on feelings, right? Pisces is the sign where Neptune is right now, and they're at home. Neptune rules Pisces, or Pisces rules Neptune, depending how we want to see the situation. But they are very emotional signs, right? It's a water sign. Pisces is a water sign. Neptune talks about the subconscious mind, the dreams, all this emotional of what is not real, and we may lose touch with reality a little bit if we're not careful. Another thing that this influence can bring to us is this desire to escape maybe using drugs, using alcohol, doing activities that are really not aligned to what we should be doing, or even meditation. If you like, everything in excess can be damaging, right? So if you're always in the meditation, always doing plant medicine, always taking drugs, drinking, going out with your friends to prevent you from feeling, that is escape. And that's not going to be helpful, because one time or another you're going to have to face these feelings, and you're going to have to see the reality. Because even though it's very tempting to be in the 5D and just live in this wonderful spiritual world, we actually are made of 3D, and we are in the 3D. So balance is very important. All right, guys, so the third thing you need to know about this full moon in Sagittarius is that we have Saturn retrograde, trining the moon, if I'm not mistaken, and sextiling the sun, or it's the opposite. But both these aspects are very helpful. When we have these progressive kind of aspects, sextile or trine, it means that we work with the energy. The planets are actually helping each other. And what is Saturn? Saturn is the planet of time, of maturity, of responsibility, of structure. And so that is what is going to help us through this transit, to really figure out what matters to us, to really not be caught up in disillusionments, to be able to understand and see what were our old dreams that came with the Neptune and Jupiter conjunction that I talked to you guys about. We were in a very excited time, and we were like having all these dreams, and now it's time to really focus on your routine, on your structure, and your responsibility and maturity of understanding what those dreams that are no longer aligned with us are, and which ones are. So we should really be doing grounding activities, making sure we are having a discipline. Saturn is going to help us with discipline. And also, one thing I wanted to mention is that Saturn is right now in retrograde. So we had Mercury retrograde, Mercury went direct, which is helping us, right, to really get more clarity around our own thoughts. But now Saturn is retrograde, and it's going to be retrograde until October 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. And Saturn speaks about karma. And when Saturn is retrograde, it's asking us to review our actions, our behaviors, our goals, and our mindset, our limiting beliefs, and what we've done to people in the past. Like, have we not been patient or mature? Which areas have we not grown enough? Even though we might think that we had grown, we are finally finding ourselves stuck at same patterns. And Saturn being retrograde deals with karma. So it's a time that we're going to be paying karma debt. And if we're not aware and prepared and doing the work, it can be quite painful. But you guys are all here, so you're going to be prepared. And you've always been doing the work anyway. And if you've been learning about yourself and always focused on growth and self-development, this time will actually be good for you, because it will be a time of a lot of closures and a lot of insights and learnings, so that you can pay off the karma debt and restart when Saturn goes direct again with a more clear mind and a clear path. Guys, so the fourth thing you need to know about this upcoming full moon in Sagittarius is that there is an aspect happening in Aries. So we have Jupiter in Aries, and why I'm talking about Jupiter, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and it's the planet of expansion. And we have Jupiter in Aries, like I mentioned in a few videos before, And that is giving us this energy of new beginnings, right? Because Jupiter is the expansion, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac that talks about new beginnings. So we have this force driving us. But what is also happening is that we have Mars, the ruler of Aries, the warrior planet, the planet that talks about our aggression, which, aggression is not always bad. You need aggression to take action, to lead, right? To have this independence from others and from situations, and just to act. But we have Mars exactly in conjunction with Chiron. And I don't know if I've mentioned Chiron to you guys before, but Chiron is about our wounds. It's the wounded healer. The story of Chiron is actually quite interesting because Chiron was immortal, and in the mythology, right? Chiron was immortal. It was it was a centaur. It was actually the symbol of Sagittarius, is Chiron, and he was immortal. But he got an arrow. He was wounded with an arrow, a poisoned arrow, and he had to live with this pain forever until he made some deal with Prometheus. But I'm not gonna get into that. But that is, and he's called the wounded healer because even though he has that pain, he knows that pain so well that it becomes also his gift. Think about it. If you have always struggled with relationships and that's your wound, and you're always working on it, and you always try to heal from it and learn things about it, in the end you're going to be able to help others that have a similar wound or that need help in that department. So we have Mars and Chiron together. And what does that mean? It means that we're going to have this warrior-like spirit and energy to fight our wounds, to really not judge ourselves so much, and to have clarity on what limiting beliefs, what aspects of my life I need to let go, and what behaviors I need to take another look at that maybe are coming from my wounded self, right? So, and that I need now to mature using the energy of Saturn, and that I need to also focus on the bigger picture, not to get stuck in the small details and sweating the small stuff from Gemini, and focus on the bigger picture from Sagittarius of what am I having a different perception, Gemini, based on my wounds alone, right? So it's going to really help us with that. And it's an important time for you to be kind to yourself and forgive others for anything wrong that it's small, that doesn't really add anything to your life. So it's the time for forgiveness. One of the things you can do, and I'll talk to you guys later about, is a Ho'oponopono practice, which is a Hawaiian practice meditation that you repeat: I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry, and thank you. So these are the 4 things. I don't know if the order matters, but basically you just meditate repeating that, and you do that to yourself, to others, to people you love, to people you don't like so much, and that just brings you inner peace. And so that is a really good practice for this particular placement. Guys, so the last thing you need to know about this full moon is about Venus and Uranus being conjunct in Taurus, where our North Node also is. And that is going to really help us to get a new sense of self-worth, which is going to be extremely important in this new cycle, this new energy that we are having. Because if you don't know your self-worth, how are you going to trust that the values that you have and what you think is truly important to have this bird-eye view, it's really important if you don't trust your own knowledge, your own beliefs, right? So it's really important to know your worth. And Taurus speaks about self-worth. It speaks about our values in the world, how we deal with the material things, and how do we deal with the 3D. So this energy is also going to help us to ground a little bit more. Taurus is an earth sign, and Venus is ruled by Taurus. Venus is really talking about also our pleasures, our joys, our passions, our a way of loving. And what better way to learn how to love than first starting with self-worth and loving yourself. So it's a very important time to look at yourself and see your version of your self-worth. Like, do you have a healthy relationship with your own worth, or are you letting other people tell you what you're worth? Are you letting other people's reality mess up your own reality? Are you being too flexible? Or also maybe you have this unhealthy version of self-worth where you don't care about anybody and you just become this arrogant prick who doesn't really have any idea of how to have this healthy relationship with themselves and keeps trying to overprove your worth and comes off as arrogant, conceited, and you name it, right? Narcissism and all those shadows that come out when we don't have a healthy ego. So, and we know that if we have an unhealthy ego like that, even if we're coming off as arrogant because we're trying to prove something to someone, it's because in reality, deep down, you don't believe your worth. If you have to push it so much to others, it's because you don't believe in yourself. So take a look at that, right? Make sure if this doesn't resonate with you, no problem, to each your own. But I just wanted to talk about this conjunction, and I forgot. And Venus is conjunct Uranus. Uranus is the planet of revolution, of thinking outside of the box, of having these like surprises and new ways of thinking and seeing things. And so Uranus is really going to help us to take a really good look at how we manage money and how we manage self-worth and how we talk about our values, right? What's important to us. And it could be shocking. We could have some news that could be shocking. It could be good shocks or bad shocks. It could be a surprise or a disappointment. But I just want you guys to keep in mind that it's basically just trying to show you something that perhaps it was hidden on your subconscious mind. Make sense? All right. Anyway, this is all the things I wanted to tell you guys about. And let's now talk about what you could be doing as a ritual and some things you can do to leverage this energy. Guys, so let's talk about rituals. So this is a full moon. So as we know, we're going to work on releasing, not manifesting, right? We want to let go of what no longer helps us to go on our journey, what no longer serves us for a greater good and doesn't really contribute to our learning and growth anymore. So the first thing we do on a full moon ceremony that I like to do is to cleanse and to clear. So you have different ways of cleansing. You can use sage. You can take a bath with some herbs, and some of the herbs you can use this for this energy is whatever herbs that work for your solar plexus, because we really need to focus on our self-worth, right? And having this energy to really know what is noise and what really matters to us. So chamomile would be really good herb for it. I have some other lemongrass is very good, lemon and ginger, if you want to just drink some tea as you're doing your bath. I don't know, whatever fits your bill. I would just advise you to not put citric oils in your bath, because I've done that in the past and it burned. I put some orange peels and that was not pretty. But you can also take a shower, like as you're showering, you know, put your hands up, imagine that water, as much as it's cleaning the emotions that you have, it also is bringing new things, right? So that's the movement of the full moon. We want to clear and cleanse so that new things can come on the new moon that's going to come in 2 weeks. So after you're doing cleansing, you can clear, and then Palo Santo is a very good clearing tool, and I just love the smell. So it's another thing you can do. You can do incenses as well, whatever feels more aligned to you, and that could work for solar plexus. So look it up online, what you could be doing for solar plexus. The second thing I think it'll be good to do is to release by dancing. Sagittarius is the sign that talks about joy and positivity and having a better take on life, right? And going on adventures. So pick a song that you really like and just dance like no one's watching it. It could be just one song or maybe 10 minutes, but just as you're dancing, just release. If anger comes up, release that. If sadness comes up, cry. And it's just an exercise to really release and move your body and get rid of that emotional blockage that gets in our body so many times, right? So that's the second thing I wanted to tell you guys. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. You know, Sagittarius is a sign that talks about truth, and it's a quest for truth. So if you have anything you have to say to others, just be honest and tell them the truth, but also tell the truth to yourself. have this commitment with truth. And the way you can do that is you can write a letter to yourself and tell some truths to yourself. And you could also, if you have this desire of telling the truth to someone, you want to contact that person, do it. This energy right now is going to really help them. You never know how that truth may help someone. But be kind, not all truths are something we should tell others. But if it's something that you feel and you have clarity that you should do it, write it down when you're having the energy of the full moon in your ritual, and later on share your truth, share the truth with others, and just have this commitment with truth. Another thing you can do, as I mentioned before in the video, is to do a Ho'oponopono meditation. It will take a very short time. I'll link here down in the description a song that is basically Ho'oponopono, and I love listening to it while I'm doing some Cobra movement from yoga, because Cobra works with your heart chakra and it opens. And it just really works for me to think about Ho'oponopono as I am working on my heart chakra. It just really gives you that inner peace. So you can do that, and you can also do a meditation. I like looking on YouTube. There's many fantastic meditators out there. Just Google it or YouTube it, meditation for the full moon in Sagittarius, and you can do that meditation with yourself, light up some candles, right? Do that whole self-care, self-worth kind of energy from the Taurus and Venus and Uranus that I talked to you guys about, and do that meditation and ask in the meditation, what are the things that you need to release? What are the small details that are cluttering your mind, and what is the bigger perspective that you should be having right now? And what are your new goals that you need to really be diligent about and responsible about? Bring all that Saturn energy, right? And after you do that, you're going to write on a piece of paper what you're letting go of. You're going to write and you're going to burn it after. A good way is to, if you want to write different pieces of paper, I personally like to write each thing I'm letting go on a different piece of paper. Just that when I'm burning, it just feels more fun, right? It's like I'm burning many things. Thank you, universe. So you're gonna write what you're not resonating with you anymore. It could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be an old pattern that you're ready to change. And be very careful about what you're burning, because if you don't know what you're gonna burn and you're gonna ask the moon to take it out from your life, it might take it out from your life. And finally, don't forget to do your moon water. I already explained in many videos before, but moon water, you just take a jar or a glass bottle. Don't do plastic, it doesn't work as well. And you're gonna write words around that bottle of things you wanna welcome. Because if you're letting go, the universe will pay you back by bringing new things. And you're gonna write on the bottle, put some water, drinking water in it, then you're gonna leave overnight, and then in the morning, you take it out before the sun is too hot. If you can take it out before the sun is up, props to you. I can never wake up in time, but just make sure that sun energy is not going on it, not because it's bad necessarily, but because it's a stronger energy, and it may not harbor, it makes so I'm forgetting the word in English. It may superpose the energy of the moon, right? So some of the words you can be writing are focus, determination, joy, fun, because that's what Sagittarius is, truth, purpose, maturity from Saturn, and growth, right? Knowledge, and whatever you want to bring into your life. Like really, it's a process of just reflection and writing your own words, and it's a really good water later. And finally, you can also do a charging of your crystals. Just leave it with the water, the crystals, the card decks, any necklace or anything that it's important to you that you want to get that energy as a reminder, as a totem for you to keep doing the work. And if you want to do a card reading, one thing you can do is you're going to ask 3 questions. So take 3 cards. First card, you're going to ask, what should I be letting go of? Second card, you're going to ask for an advice from the moon right now for this time. And the third card would be, what is my next adventure? Because Sagittarius talks about adventure, right? And we want to get excited about it. We want to know where this is all going. What is this new beginning that we're bringing? So this is all I had for you guys today. I hope this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me to get in the search algorithm. And I'll see you guys next time. I wish you a great full moon journey. And I'll be back for the new moon in Cancer coming up. Bye!